Hi, it's Tagmon Tech, and I think I've just wasted my money on the wrong iPhone. This is the iPhone Pro Max, Apple's top tier iPhone, aluminium build, A19 Pro chip, 120Hz ProMotion display, and a new 5x telephoto camera. On paper it sounds unbeatable, but here's the kicker. The regular iPhone 17 gives you almost everything for a lot less. So why did I pick the Pro Max, and was it a mistake? For full disclosure, the phone I was previously using was the iPhone 14 Pro Max. It is a significant upgrade from my previous model. Let's kick off by the unboxing. Lift the lid, and right there is the phone. Brushed aluminium unibody gleams under the light. The finish feels premium and surprisingly balanced. Underneath, the usual minimalism. USB-C cable, paperwork, and that's it. No surprises. It's classic Apple, clean, refined, and letting the hardware do the talking. So let's see if it lives up to it. This year's Pro Max trades titanium of earlier generations for aluminium, specifically a heat-forged aluminium unibody. But why the change? Basically for better thermal conduction, easier internal design, and more room for cooling systems. The internal vapour chamber for heat dispersion is now more effective because of the aluminium shell. The bezels are slimmer. The build feels solid, but yeah, there has been scratch gate chatter. Anodised aluminium at the sharp edges, especially around the camera plateau, seems to chip more easily than the older finishes. There's plenty of videos out there that you can check that out with. All that said though, the Pro Max is still a large two-handed phone. It dominates your pocket. If you don't like big phones, this isn't going to change your mind. Meanwhile, the regular iPhone 17 is more compact, easier to handle, and the iPhone Air, yeah, it's ultra thin, but with the same core hardware. Display-wise, Apple hasn't cut corners. The Pro Max has a beautiful 120Hz ProMotion OLED. The same refresh tech now adapted at various levels across the lineup. On this screen, content feels fluid. Animations scrolling all buttery smooth. Brightness is improved, especially outdoors, where peaks now compete with many flagship rivals. But the iPhone 17 also supports 120Hz, so that advantage to the Pro models is no longer an exclusive. The Pro Max still has its size and brightness advantage under harsh lighting. The difference is arguably narrower than it's ever been. The iPhone Air screen too is essentially similar. Same refresh tech, same core display, so no real bonus. Tell me, if you've got an iPhone, how much do you care about brightness peaks or larger displays? Now cameras, this is where the Pro really pulls ahead. It uses a 48 megapixel main sensor with upgraded processing, and its exclusive 5x telephoto zoom lens gives you a reach that you couldn't get with older models. I compared it directly with my iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is capped at 3. That extra reach changes framing, lets me pull distant subjects in cleanly, and opens up creative flexibility I didn't have before. Combine that with ProRes video support, already useful on the 14 Pro Max, and faster pipeline, and becomes a serious content creation tool. But if you're not producing content every week, the iPhone 17's 48 megapixel sensor is already excellent. You'll be more than satisfied for daily photography and social content. The iPhone Air's camera is competent, but doesn't push the envelope. It's not bad, but it's not worthy of a premium price. The Pro Max runs an A19 Pro chip, powerful, efficient, and paired with the cooling system to sustain performance under load. Battery claimed for video playback reaches up to 39 hours, suggesting excellent real-world stamina. The regular iPhone 17 uses the A19, slightly fewer GPU cores, but way ahead of what most tasks demand. It won't feel slow unless you push it towards heavy workloads. Yeah, the iPhone Air uses the same chip as the Pro, but the performance discount for a thinner form really puts it in an awkward position. So let's see those specs translate in real world use. Let's do a speed test. The Pro Max uses Wi-Fi 7 and it really showed. It's almost double the speed on my tests, which was quite an increase. Given the older tech in the 14 Pro Max, it's not surprising. The 5G, however, was very similar. There's no real difference. Even though the 17 Pro Max has a new modem, it doesn't really make much of a difference. To me, iOS 26 does seem a little bit unpolished. There is glitches occasionally on some of the screens. However, the liquid glass does look amazing. The transition ripple, wallpaper flows, animations feel alive. On the Pro Max's display, it's especially dramatic. But like I said, the iOS 26 is across all ranges and older phones too, so that's not really an advantage for the 17 Pro Max. So let's talk pricing. So these prices are in dollars. The 17 base model starts at $799. The iPhone 17 Pro starts at $1099, and the 17 Pro Max begins at $1199. Pro Max offers some higher storages, now up to 2 terabytes. The maxed out 2 terabyte Pro Max pushes towards nearly $2,000, which is laptop money, and it's just crazy. Apple has quietly killed the iPhone Plus, so there's no budget big screen alternatives. So now you're forced either into the Air, which is thin but not necessarily any better, or the Pro Max, which is premium and premium cost. It's no longer freedom of choice, it's a funnel. Most people look at the Air and get tempted and think, oh, I might as well jump to the Pro Max. Apple knows exactly what it's doing. The regular iPhone 17 gives you nearly everything: ProMotion, strong performance, great main camera, at a significant discount at the price of the top tier cost. So did I buy the wrong iPhone? For me, no. The 17 Pro Max fits my workflow perfectly. It's a significant upgrade from my iPhone 14 Pro Max. I film, I zoom and rely on the ProRes and I benefit from most of the tools. It's more than a phone, it's a creative device for me. But for most people, regular iPhone 17 is the smarter buy. It gives you 120 Hz smoothness, excellent main camera, liquid glass experience without forcing you into a $1,200 version. The Herb doesn't bring anything other than form factor, and the Pro Max is only worth it if you use those extras. Apple might be pushing you towards the higher end models, but the truth is simple. The 17 is the real sweet spot for 2025. Unless you're filming every week like I am, it's the one that you should get. If you like this video and find it just a little bit interesting, please think about a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.